Hello, today it is early January. We're here on the Washington side of the Columbia River Gorge. We're at the Dog Mountain Trailhead, and today we're going to be climbing Dog Mountain. A couple of notes about this trailhead are, one, during summer and especially during wildflower season, this trailhead gets really busy. So if you can't find a parking spot here, you have to actually park in Stevenson, a few miles down the road, and take a shuttle. The other note is that it does take a parking fee, so make sure that you have a parking pass or you bring $5 so you can pay that fee. We're going up today. Looks like there might be a little bit of weather at the top, but shouldn't be too bad. Should be about 6 miles round trip. I'm here today with my friend Robbie, and it should be a lot of fun. So let's start heading up. All right, we are coming up on our first intersection of the trail. You can see here the sign says our options are difficult to the right and more difficult to the left. What do you think, Robbie? Which way do you want to go? Difficult or more difficult?
Let's go a little more difficult.
Yeah.
So I can really die.
That's usually my choice too. I actually usually pick more difficult for the way up. It is the slightly steeper way. That's why they call it more difficult. So I like to go that way up and then come down the slightly less steep way on the way down to kind of avoid knee issues. So if that's something you're worried about, definitely make your way left and right, or left's difficult both ways. All right, we are coming up back on the junction with the less difficult trail. You can see here we have a sign. It says Dog Mountain 1 mile. So we're gonna turning left up to go up. But when we come back down, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go straight instead of coming back this way from where we just came. So the more difficult has definitely lived up to his name, but difficult, obviously, is also difficult. All right, if you're ever gonna be coming up here at any specific time, I would say that the best time would be during wildflower season, if you can handle the hordes of people, because this entire hillside during wildflower season is covered in bright yellow balsam root, and it is quite a view. I'll share a picture from May 2016 where we were also socked in then with the weather, but it was much brighter because of all the flowers. We're making progress. We're getting closer and closer to the top. We're actually almost there. Let's go. All right, we're coming up on another intersection here. This is actually an intersection with the Osberger Mountain Trail, which goes down and to the left. The Dog Mountain Trail is right here to the right, continuing uphill. We are only about 200 feet shy of the summit now. All right, we've come up on our last intersection. Here we are on the Dog Mountain Summit Loop Trail. This loop kind of does a little loop from the lookout point down below. But here's our turnoff for the summit spur itself. Just goes a few feet more up. And I think the general consensus is that most people actually just stop right here and don't go to the summit, because this is about as good of the views as you're gonna get, at least on most days and most moments. I think it might even open up here for us in a second. But the trail itself to the summit does go a little further, and I'll actually show you the whole way to the summit that's kind of hidden in a little stand of trees, so you can see the exact spot of the summit. All right, so we're coming up onto the summit now. And as you can see, not many people actually make their way up here. But if you are looking to actually tag the summit, it is at this point right here, and looks like there's actually even a little bit of fanfare for it. But this is it. As you can see, not many views at all. But I think Robbie and I are both happy to have come all the way to the summit. We'll continue to share views of better views once we get a little down lower. But otherwise, we've made it to the top. Now it's time to head back down. All right, in lieu of a summit video with views, I'm gonna let me share a little bit of the views we have here at the Dog Mountain Lookout, just a little south of the summit on the ridgeline. And even today, the views here aren't so wonderful because of the weather, but we do at least have a nice view of the clouds. And then a little further down, we actually have a nice view looking down the river towards Portland. Nice weathery day, but still a really fun day to be out. All right, we've made it back down to the trailhead. It was a really fun trip up to the top of Dog Mountain. I think Robbie had a good time. What do you think?
Oh, yeah.
We'll have to bleep that one out. But today we did Dog Mountain. Dog Mountain stands at an elevation of 2,948 feet. It has a prominence of 1,148 feet. I, of course, would love to thank everyone that's made this possible. Trail builders, this is a really nice trail. Map builders, I'd like to thank the Forest Service for preserving the space. Also love to thank all of you viewers out there for watching this. Love to thank Robbie for joining me. And then, of course, the original stewards of this land. Out here, we're looking at the ancestral lands of the Yakima peoples and the Cascade Chinook peoples. I'll see you guys at the top.
The difficult way is uphill and most dangerous. The more difficult way is flat. I call it the trap on this.
I was actually going to comment on that.
As a first-time jogger, first-time guy down here, it's like, hey,